Chapter name should be formal and informal and functional management. Okay, so formal and informal organization, as we discussed formal and informal communication only, it is going to go on the same lines. Okay, so we're not going to press more into the formal organizational types, informal organizational types, deep agi hogta illa, but you should be able to give the examples. Yeah, I was talking about the units classification. So we are going to classify the unit into two components. One, the types of organization. What we have discussed before, are types, so you can classify it into formal and informal, or you can classify in another way also, like what we are going to do today. Okay, na? So that is one thing, and the other one is functional management. So functional management is a integrated term. See, actually KPSC li namge athra syllabus clear ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, what comes under what anta ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So it looks very weird. So functional management is an integrated term used to describe all the other managements inside an organization. It includes financial management, production management, marketing management, HR management, and then leadership, strategies, and also motivation. Okay, so now the entire unit is going to talk about this functional management only. It's an integrated term utilized for the other managerial concepts. Got it? Yes, it's a small unit, but ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ interesting areas ide idralli. Okay, and now talking about our financial management, HR management, leadership and motivation, somewhere you can bring it to the public administration. But other this marketing management and production management idella, that is little away from the public administration. Direct influence ತಗೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, so we just are going to go little briefly into these areas. Got it? Yes, that does not mean that public administration does not require any marketing skills at all. No, we need marketing management as well, and production management largely because we have PSUs which are into the production of goods and services. Yes or no? Service ginta goods side alli ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ ಇದೀವಿ. Yes? Okay. Then ONGC, great. ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನವರತ್ನ ಮಿನಿರತ್ನ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸೋದೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಸೋಪ್, ನಮ್ ಸೋಪ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ, ರೈಟ್ or not? Mysore Sandal soap factories, yes. Andini, okay. Yes, okay, milk federations, all the other articles, Khadi, okay, KVIC, they're all our industries, right or not? So indigenously producing the goods and services. Okay, na? So service based, it's a collaboration that we will see little later. Okay, so product based namdu ide, production units ide, and we are also into production management as well. But then we do not apply that into administration as such. So idu civil services ge jaasti imply agadilla with respect to your marketing management and your production management. So we are not getting into the details of it. Otherwise, marketing management and production management is a very deep topic in business administration. Okay, na? Adralli people specialize in those areas, if you are aware of it. Business administrationally, people specialize in marketing, people specialize in HR, finance, and then production as well. Okay, so these are like core business administration areas. Okay, why we are discussing about these in public administration? Present day economic situation actually has given more scope for these business concepts to be utilized in the public administration. So therefore, we are going to see all these things here. Aitham? Yes. So understood the structure of the chapter. So let's begin. Formal and informal organization. So we know it. We'll just read through it. That's it. Okay. So we have already discussed about formal and informal communication, alva. So we'll take a look at what's formal and informal organization. So formal organization refers to the structure of jobs and positions with clearly defined functions and relationships as prescribed by the top management. So there is a structure which is got the positions well defined by the top management. That is nothing but a formal organization. This is a known thing, right or not? So what could be informal organization? The one which does not appear on the organizational chart. Okay, now every organization will have an organizational chart. Heard about this? Yes. So there will be proprietors or board of directors, our kelage CEOs barodu. Okay, then comes, I mean, in the largest organizations I'm talking about. Otherwise, proprietor is also known as the CEOs in middle level and lower level organizations. Okay, could be CEOs, and then there could be GMs, and then there could be Deputy managers, not really required now. So whatever, AGM. Okay. So our kedage we might have supervisors, and then you might have line staff. Okay, or ground staff anta karitevi. Okay, ivrige parallelly you will also see support staff. Alva. So this is actually an organizational chart. So from the top level to bottom level, total employees are listed in the organizational chart. Okay, so who occupies which position in this hierarchy? Another now establishment. That is nothing but an organizational chart. Only formal organizations will have organizational chart. Right or not? Why doesn't an informal organization have it? Because it is just an informal, tie that exists between employees in an organization. Okay, there is no superior or subordinate relationship in informal organizational setup. Okay, the term organization itself is sometimes wrong to use for that kind of a relationship. You can call it as an informal, association anta karibodu, or collaboration anta karibodu, or communication anta karibodu. Okay, right? So sometimes it is organization when they are organized. Trade unions, peer groups, social groups within an organization, they all become little organized way of, they have an organized way of operation, therefore they are informal organizations. So informal organization do not obtain a place in the organizational chart. Got it? Yes. So but it supplements the formal organization in achieving organizational goals effectively and efficiently. Now let's assume that we are all employees of an organization. Okay, so we are working towards the production of some goods. Okay, so now communication between us will develop some kind of a relationship, interpersonal relationship between us, right? So now each of you know each of you in here, right or not? At least you have a belongingness to this particular space. Okay, we belong to the common institute anta, right or not? So that gives you some kind of comfort, so that your social life is taken care of within these four walls. Okay, so you have friends, you have people to talk to when you're not liking some subject, you have some people to help you when you have difficulty in handling a particular subject. May or may not be, but it can be. Okay, so that informal organization helps in contributing to the formal organization. Okay, now so they both are like they go hand in hand in achieving the organizational goals effectively. Got it? Yes. So a single formal organization like the state, university, the industry may consist of several informal organizations. So now let's assume that in the state, if you take the state, country as a total formal organization, so everything under it cannot come under the formal organizational chart. So you can have a lot of informal organizational examples. Can you give me some examples? Peer groups, like mention some of the peer groups in the state. Farmers Union. What? Name. All India Trade Union Congress. Okay. Labor unions. Then name. Yes. Then name some of the organizations that you know. ASSOCHAM. Right. ASSOCHAM is a supporting body organizational setup. FICCI. Yeah, FICCI, yes. Not FASI. No, FICCI, yes. Yes. Okay, yes. They are all like, add-ons inside an organizational structure. Okay, na? So they help you to persuade the state in better policy making. Got it? Yes. Now coming to university. Inside a university, what could be the other informal organizations? Student union irbodu. Okay. So there can be the Teachers Welfare Association or Professors Welfare Association, Sports Associations irbodu. Teachers and Parents Associations irbodu. Okay. And Arts Association irbodu. So each of these streams in the college or university can have a separate association for themselves. Hindi Association. Okay. So language based. So a lot of things like that. Okay, so that becomes an informal organization. It does not become a component of formal organization. Got it? Yes. And also in industry may consist of several informal organizations in the form of gangs, friendship groups, and other peer pressure groups. Okay, so the line separating between formal and informal organization is sometimes very, very thin. We cannot clearly classify between what is formal and what is informal in some of the situations. Okay, now let's assume that in an industry, okay, let's assume that our soap factory only. Okay, now there is a manager. Okay, there is this very famous manager in the organization who is also the president of the labor union in the organization. Don't you think there is a clear distinction or there is a clear overlapping of powers held by a single person? Will he talk as a manager or will he talk as a labor union leader? Right? So such situations, it becomes little difficult for us to delineate between formal and informal organizational ties. Okay, na? Yes, but these ties will actually make the organization work little peacefully, and it can also backfire at some of the instances. Both are possibilities. Okay, na? Then, according to Page, famous public administration activist anta helbodu. Okay, so the continuous interaction and association among the members of formal organization result in the emergence of informal structure of roles and relationships. What he says is, in a formal organization, when there is continuous interaction, that devolves into the informal structure anta heltare. Right or not? Now you start working in administration tomorrow. Okay, so you have been selected as ACs anta tagadana. Okay, so that's it. It works. Okay, so all of you are ACs. Okay, so 10 ACs grouped in one training batch. Okay, so don't you think it's a formal relationship only? But eventually, at the end of the training period, you would make friends there. Who knows? It can go beyond that as well, right? So you might develop an informal relationship with the gang there. Right? So the formal interactions only will eventually turn out into informal organization anta helta idare. Okay na? And then he calls such informal structure consisting of primary relations, friendships and cliques, ties of mutual obligations, aid and assistance. So what does he say? What is a clique? He calls such informal structure consisting of these ties of mutual obligations of aid and assistance. And they like, when you form a group within a group, they come to your aid and assistance. Okay, so there is less chaos in the organization anta helbodu. Okay, so we know what are primary group relations. Andre, what you have, interpersonal relations, friendships. What are cliques? Never heard of it. You would have known it, but you don't know what it exactly means. It's nothing but that small group where they don't entertain anybody else joining it. That's a clique. Okay, so generally schools, colleges, workplace, everywhere you'll have cliques. Okay, little like difficult people to deal with, or like very thick friends anta helbodu. Okay, so they do not encourage somebody else getting inside the group. They are called as cliques. It's a little negative term actually. Okay, cliques generally should not be encouraged as well, even if it's an informal setup. No, because cliques stop the growth. Cliques stop the growth of individuals, because and also the organization eventually. Okay, so whatever expertise or knowledge what you have, see, why do we even encourage any kind of interaction in the organization? Organizations are very clever. They're not really there to help your interpersonal relationship management, but they need some kind of order in the organization. If informal organization is giving that order, let it be anta itkondidare. Otherwise they'll totally nip it in the bud. Right or not? So if cliques are there, it is going to be negative for the organization, because they are not going to share any knowledge. And if the cliques become little non-productive after a point of time, they will also be not helped by the other teammates, right? So eventually it creates a divide in the organization. Got it? Yes. So that's about the formal and informal organizations definitions. Artha agidya? Very clear? Yes. So let's move on to the differences between formal and informal organization.